Hey guys, so I am going to walk through doing an installation of our JDK and doing NetBeans on our computer. So some of you have already finished this already, or maybe you're just getting started. It's all good. I am working on a PC, which means it's going to be a little bit different from a Mac. It's actually PC has some things that are a little bit harder to do. So if you're using a Mac, it's like I'll identify some steps that you might be able to skip. So we're going to start with our JDK, which we have, I have download links right here. So just download those right away. And let me see what we have here. So I have mine set up in here. I'm going to put my JDK. And I'm just going to walk through the steps. I'm going to put in like the timestamps. You can probably look below here to find some timestamps of when different things happen. So if you've already done something, great. You can kind of just skip ahead and hopefully find the part that's meaningful to you. So we're just going to install this. Now, the one thing we have to do here, and this is for a PC thing, not for a MacBook, but if we go down here where it says set Java home variable, we're just going to click on that entire feature. And so and the same thing for these registry keys. That's two really important facts, or two really important steps, I guess. Basically, what we're doing is we're downloading the Java language to our computer. And what these two things are doing are just identifying for our computer where we've installed Java at. So that's what this thing especially is doing, is finding the location, like where is it being installed on the computer. This is going to figure that out for us. Okay, so we'll hit next, install, and we'll come install, pause. See my crazy display here for a second. And so we should see this where it's saying, yeah, app is going to make connections, no problem. Okay, install. Pause this again. So you're not missing too much on here. It's just kind of going through the installation stuff. It eventually say completed. There shouldn't really be any other problems there. And we hit finish. When we are done, we're just going to hit finish. And basically, so we've installed the language on our computer. Nothing pops up. This is not an application. It's a kind of a language pack that lets our computer understand how Java is written and lets us kind of make stuff with Java. So nothing's going to pop up there. And I know that's a kind of a surprise for some people. So let's see, we'll go into here and we've done all this. Now we need to install our NetBeans, which I already have downloaded. Okay, so if we hop into here, we're just going to open up our Apache NetBeans. Again, I'll try and pause this as it goes through. But so this is where we're actually going to do our coding. The last one was just the language. Now we need to actually install the place where we're going to write our code, and that's in Apache NetBeans. There are a lot of different options that we could choose for this. This IDE just works really well for our tasks, basically. But there's a bunch of other options out there. There's IntelliJ, there's Eclipse, there's Visual Studio Code. There's a ton of options, and they all have kind of their strengths. This one's really good. It works well with what we do, and it's also something you could develop a full project on. People use this like in their professional careers, so it's a good place to kind of start with. Okay, so my computer's just being super slow, but yeah, nice. It's kind of infinite windows in there. Yeah, so we can see this kind of getting installed. I'll skip the boring parts. Okay, now we're getting back into the actual installation part. So yeah, all this stuff is good. We're going to install all these packs and everything. Accept. Great. Cool. And let's see, we're going to check for updates. All that's great. We're going to install. I'm going to pause it for a second while we go through this boring stuff. Okay, so back at it, we finished this. Installation's installed or completed successfully. Cool, and now we can actually open this up. So let me apologize for the crazy display. Where's our NetBeans? Oh, it should be Apache NetBeans. Good. Okay, so now we load this up. And so we're basically done at this point as far as installation goes. We have installed the language. We've installed the actual place where we're going to work with our code, and then so this is like our environment. This is our coding environment. And what we should do first, because for some reason, like normally if you check this and you check tools, there shouldn't be a lot of options here. And so basically we need to get our Apache our NetBeans update. So here's what we're going to do. It's just a good place to mess around too. We're going to hit File, New Project. And then we are going to make our first project in here. So we're going to call Java with Maven. Great, that's fine. So Java's a language. Maven, we don't really need to worry about. It's a way of organizing files. Not a big deal for us right now. And we want to make a Java application. You can notice there's a ton of options on here. These are different ways of running Java, kind of. And then here's some JavaScript or C, C++. If you know anything about those languages, there you go. There's some stuff there. If you don't, that's all good too. But we're going with Java with Maven, or Java application, next. This is the very last step of our setup kind of. And we're going to click this, and we're going to click download and activate. So basically our NetBeans is mostly done. It needs to get kind of configured to work with actual Java. And like NetBeans could run a lot of different languages. We're just choosing it to run Java. So it just needs to get kind of fix up some last bit of stuff on here. Okay, so we'll click all this, accept, install. And now what we're going to find when we do this, finish. It's going to activate, activate, activate. Hopefully it's fast. Cool, and then here we have our first project. So we can call it whatever we want. This is the name of the project. All the rest of the stuff is kind of set. We don't need to worry about that. But we can say so the name is like, it's called first project, is fine. And so now our NetBeans is fully ready to go. I'll do a quick tour of this just for, I think some people kind of have some questions about it. So there's going to be some more things that appear on the screen. I'll show that. One thing that's kind of catches people's eyes sometimes is this little, well, not my squiggly circle of doom here, but these numbers here. Basically, it's just how much RAM, like how much memory you have on your computer and how much is being used. So if you have like if this bar is all the way full, that might mean that you're using up a lot of the memory on your computer. Like like if you have 1 million Chrome tabs open, you're probably not going to have much memory left for this. So if you find that this is kind of filling up or running out, you might close some tabs in Chrome. I'm not doing too badly right now, but that can be an issue. Okay, so I'm going to finish up on this right now. I'm going to make a separate video that's going to, like, I guess, fully finish this and really get it to work with my side of things. Like, this is kind of the NetBeans side. I have my side of things, and we need to connect the two, which is what the next video is going to be about. Hopefully, it should be pretty short. But what we're going to see here, just the last kind of things we're going to see. On the left side, we have all of our projects. And so a project might have a bunch of, we're going to work with like Java files, but a project might have a bunch of different Java files. If you're writing a program for a computer or a game or something, you might have hundreds of files. So a project kind of puts all those files into one space. We typically, to begin with, will work with one file. So like when I open up this project, this is actually a good thing to kind of cover here. First project, go to source packages. And then in here, it didn't create our first file. New Java classes. I think it should have done that already for us. But we'll get into this. We won't worry too much about this right now. It's called like test. But like we made the project, and now we're making a file to put in that project. So hit finish. It should have actually made this for us already. Maybe this is just because it's the first run of this. And now, this is where we're going to. This is a Java file. This is a Java application. We're going to learn a lot more about this. Right now, if it doesn't make a lot of sense to you, that's totally fine. But this is just the kind of basic setup, and then we'll start building and digging into this a little bit deeper. But that's a good place to start. Okay, so hopefully that'll be helpful. I'm going to make a second video right now about how to connect this again, connect the NetBeans here to my material and connect them together.